Hello guys, welcome back to the party. This is the second game from the UK Regionals at Dark Sphere in London. And we have Anton on the left, we have Chris on the right. Behind you, you have Steven, and over there is Zach. Hi, Zach.
Hi.
You can't see us, but you can hear our voices. And you know what, hey, I at the Game of Thrones Regional this weekend, it was really tripping some people out that they would hear my voice as a real person playing a game, and then they'd be like, I know that voice.
The old commentary voice.
So thanks for listening to our voices, guys. And maybe one day you can see us in the flesh, because we would like that as well. What are we talking about? Anton on the left, Chris on the right. We've got a game 2 here that is going to determine who is the regional champion. And I can't imagine it gets more exciting than the first game that we just watched.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. It came down to the end, and Anton was able to blow up a third objective with Devastator to click it out of the 12. So we've got 3 objectives, Anton, 2 on Chris. So it's 3-2 right now in the tiebreaker, assuming Anton loses this match. If he doesn't, he wins.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. I was informed that both players were told by the judge that when you go to time in the finals, the higher seed wins. They later found out that that is not the case, but whether or not that matters, we will see. I do know that that was the case.
Wow.
That there was a misruling that happened, and that
Do we know
could
who the
have
higher
affected
seed
the
is?
play. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that Chris was the higher seed at this point, and maybe we'll know more later on.
You may tell you something.
I love those little sword pole droids. Those are my favorites, man. Just the look of them.
Your naming conventions are fantastic.
Well, yeah, look, you have sword pole droid with
Emperor's
fairly
Royal Guard.
looking sword pole human.
So here's the thing.
Tell me.
Protect is so annoying.
It's so good.
It's so amazing. So he's got 2 protectors out and a resource on turn 1. Takes the Force. Great opening for
Pretty
the Sith
standard
player.
dark side turn. We have a rebel deck over here on the left. Is that defensive Yavin 4? What is that?
Yeah, it's 2 defense you have 4 and raises stakes. This looks like the old-timey sleuth deck.
It does look pretty old-timey and sleuthy. You certainly don't want
Speaking of
2
sleuths, there they
defensive
are.
Yavins 4, by the way.
It's not the worst.
It's not the worst,
but it's not the
you
greatest.
Don't want it.
Yeah, towards the end when I was running this deck, I was actually starting Smuggler and running 4 Rebel objectives because I would always keep defensive Yavin 4, right?
Right.
So I would keep it, and I would end up with 2 or 3 Rebel resources, and there's just so few Rebel cards in the deck. But I'm curious to see if that hurts here at all.
Yeah, that could be a problem. There's only one smuggler
smuggler
resource showing. You can't even play a second sleuth right now.
No, and you typically want to play like a sleuth and a swindled. But
this is a bummer.
You can't even do that, so you got to kind of choose. He's got a blockade runner there.
Well, looking at this hand, this is a problem, the exact problem that you're talking about here, that we just don't. And this could just be a real bum objective draw.
Yeah, because it looks like he's only got the 2 smuggler units there. He may have a Bothan Spy or something on the left. It's neutral. But, I mean, if he could get sleuth and blockade out here, it's a much better turn than one or the other.
Oh, it's beyond better.
Beyond better.
Beyond better. What does beyond better actually look like? How can you get better than better? That's why I went to school.
Yeah, there's just so many cards in the deck that are smuggler specifically that you want to play, whether it's sleuth, the protector, the swindles, the blockade runner.
You want to know a card that's just not really doing anything right now? That's blockade runner.
Oh man, sleuth got gone.
Whoa!
Dude, blockade runner's still really good right now. 3 health is what's important. He's gonna have to block with both units to kill it.
But if, I mean, this first turn attack is thwarted by the dark side, I feel like it's just the game just starts at a way different pace than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that we have a rebel assault in hand.
Oh,
2 resources
mama.
open. But he's got protect for days, so that's a thing. It is a real thing.
It is a real thing. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Blockade, you gotta attack, right? I mean, this is a deck that just has to attack, even if it's not ideal.
Yeah.
This is the light side jam. We have 2 fade cards in there too.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised to see that Bothan Spy get pitched instead of one of the fake cards. Because even playing the Bothan and swinging, it's like if he doesn't block, it's 2 front opposed.
Yeah,
if he
that's
does
true.
block, you only get 1 guy on the blockade. But we'll see what happens.
I think
Could be
there's
really cool.
a beautiful turn being planned here by Anton. I think these 3 cards in his hand he's going to try to use in concert here to create some kind of a beautiful
2 target of opportunity, by the way.
Oh, man. Hard to pitch target of opportunity in that deck. You just hold on to those like cheap candy. Not to say that it's the right thing to do, but it's the thing to do.
Yeah, and when you're looking across at Sith here, you know Sith isn't known for just blowing up a ton of objectives. So being able to score an objective here, if possible, is going to be really phenomenal for him. it puts him at 4-2 on the objective count.
Got to be worried a little bit about the twist here, doesn't he?
That is the worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, double target to twist. Once you sit a second, you got to hope it's a pass. And it is. Double target. Opportunity arose. How fitting. Are we going to rebel assault this guy?
I think he has protect, so you don't. I don't think you waste rebel assault there.
You're correct.
But I would do it.
What about now?
He can still protect. He can protect either way, right?
He can.
I prefer using it on the Mara Jade objective. He's gonna try to pop him.
I kind of like using it on the objective, like you said.
Hey, do we know why blockade runner's double focused here?
Man.
Okay, so he's letting it happen.
There he goes.
There it is.
Because it wasn't supposed to be.
Interesting play.
Okay, so let it happen. So, or he protects
He protected both, but he let it happen, so to speak.
So you're telling me that you can split those 1 and 1?
Oh, absolutely. They both have protect.
Crazy. Crazy ruling. Crazy.
Crazy. Force choke, not doing too much good right now. Devastator, twist, Vader, Palpatine. Woo!
He's already got a Vader on the board though, so it won't help him too much.
He doesn't have Vader on the board.
Look at him.
Oh, the red Vader.
The red Vader.
The red Vader.
Anton out of cards.
Do you play Vader or Palpatine here? I have an answer, but do you?
I have an answer.
What do you do?
You know what I'd do, Zach? Let me think about it for a second.
All right.
See if I got any cards in hand that matter.
Looks like a Force Lightning. But I'm not too worried about it because I can commit both my Sith units and put 2 focus over on that blockade runner because he didn't damage whatever the Mara Jade objective set's called.
I play Palpatine. You know why?
Why?
Because I want him out of my hand and on the board.
I played Darth Vader.
Now,
You know why?
why is that?
Well, here's the interesting part.
Ah,
Here's what's interesting.
You see.
If you play Vader, you don't have to double spin the Executor objective set.
that's true.
But the Executor objective set has a single health.
Ooh.
Oh, baby.
Just drop the Sith Lightning.
Just bam. Boom. Got ya.
Bam.
Yeah, this is a fine move. You know you get rid of that blockade
Yeah,
runner.
this is a guy playing sleuths, right? So you just got to get some 2-cost dudes out there. This is a solid play. This is fundamentals, right? It's fundamental Star Wars. Chris taking it to the house here. Bunch of 2-cost dudes.
Gonna
block
damage,
you.
raise the stakes, which is gonna slow his deck way down.
I do wish Chris would get that Force card off the board. It's driving me crazy.
Driving me wild.
Oh,
Just
there he
commit
goes.
this Force.
Just sandwich him on there. Okay, so this is good.
Yeah, I mean this is definitely not bad for the dark side. Light side did score 4 damage on his opening, but yeah, it's solid.
What's the dial at now? 3?
Big 3.
Big 3.
All right, see all those yellow cards over in that hand?
Yeah, that's a problem. See, oh man, that is so bad.
Yellow for days. So the inverse of this is
Busted.
if you don't start Rebel and you run 4 Rebel objectives, you could not draw a single Rebel objective. But literally the 2 main cards, like when you're talking about the red 2 objective set, defense you have in 4, the only 2 cards in that objective set that are Rebel Assault and red 2.
Right.
The other cards are all neutral. And then typically, at least in mine, I ran the B-Wing objective set, which only has the Blue Squadron Leader and the 1-cost event that are Rebel. So there's literally like 8 cards that are Rebel versus like 28 that are Smuggler.
So those are the options basically between starting Rebels and Smugglers.
Yeah.
Well, good options. I think either way it's pretty strong.
Yeah, like here, he has
Anton's in
a
an
Swindled in hand,
unfortunate spot.
but like you can't not play a unit. So it's this, if he could Swindled and play a unit, he could do a lot of damage here. He's just got defense you have in 4 to discard, but it doesn't really matter because he can't spend all the resources.
Let's just assume how many. Let's assume he's got 4 objective sets that are Rebel in that deck. That's a fair assumption, right?
That's a fair assumption, yeah.
So what are the odds of you drawing 3 of those in your opening? Because that's obviously what happened here.
They're not super high.
They're not high, I'll tell you that. So this may be one of the worst games for Anton on the day, just knowing those odds and the likelihood of seeing 2 rebel objectives.
Yeah, it typically is fine, but even when you just see 2, or when you see 2, you're going to have to keep 1, and 2 of your resources are rebel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the problem I ran into more often, where I always keep defense you have in 4, and then half my resources are rebel. And I typically only play L rebel card a turn. So it's just kind of a, how do you want to swing it?
How do you want to swing it?
I'm curious he blocked here. Losing protectors is not my favorite thing on the world. But maybe if he's attacking Executor Rise, I don't know.
If you lose protectors, then they've done their job, Zach.
Yeah, but I mean, not protecting. If you're just blocking some chump doing 1 damage.
Ah, Twist of Fate. Love it. Love it. Anton throwing 1 in, 1 over on Chris. Let the games begin.
See, Vader and Palpy's still in hand. We'll see if he's a Vader or a Palpy kind of guy here.
Yeah, does Chris want to chuck one of these heavy hitters here?
The only one you're sure you can play next turn is Vader. There it is.
Palpatine going to the house.
He's gone. Let's see what we get.
I think we'll win that edge battle.
Yeah, by a couple. 8-2 or 3. Kapow.
He wins it.
It's my new tagline, by the way. Kapow.
Chris seems to be a kapow kind of guy.
Kaboom.
Kabloomers.
Kabloomers? I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah, that's a thing. I've heard that before. It's a reference to something. I think it's wizard people.
The wizard folk.
Wizard people, dear reader.
All right.
Man, this is looking great for Chris. I'm not lying here.
Ooh, rage. Ooh, holocron and rage. Money. Money. Winner, chicken dinner.
Money. Is that Vader's lightsaber?
No, that's Mara's lightsaber.
Ah. Slightly more feminine version.
Now, a lot of people... oh, man. Jokes. A lot of people might want to drop the Sith holocron here and go ahead and use it on Vader.
Not you, though.
And that way you can play Rage this turn and maybe blow up an objective. But I kind of like Anton's objectives that he has out right now. So,
yeah, you don't really want to pop one, do you?
No, not at all. So I'd probably play Vader, not double use any resources, not waste the holocron. I'd play holocron just to get it on the board. But otherwise, I'd save it. I may even play the 1 resource instead and save holocron for next turn. Looks like he's playing the holocron.
Using it.
Yep,
it's Vader.
There he is.
As I said, Chris is a kapow kind of guy.
He's a kapowie.
He wants to get out there, and he wants to do some damage. He wants to build a board.
I was playing a game the other day where I saved the holocron and I popped it on my opponent's turn after he deployed.
Were they confused?
No, they thought I was going to play some brutal event to like kill them. And so he actually responded by using a swindled on a resource character I had out because he thought I was trying to play Force Storm. I actually had Shockwave, which is only 3.
There it is.
So he was rather disappointed to waste a swindled and then lose his board anyway.
And that's what you want. You want to make your opponent disappointed. Mara's lightsaber. Now, how'd he get that?
He killed her.
Did he? Spoiler alert. Sith Apprentice.
He didn't kill her. Vader dies way before Mara Jade.
Sith Apprentice coming in with Mara's lightsaber. Now that's a little more confusing.
I mean,
use this for a while.
It's fine.
I mean, thematically.
I got you.
In terms of mechanics, it's a great play.
It's great. Committing both.
Tell me a tale about Mara's lightsaber, would you?
1 cost, gives a unit damage, has to go on a Force sensitive or Force user. And if it's Mara Jade, makes it like she's committed. Which,
how cute.
That Mara version gets
it
targeted
makes her very
strike,
important.
shielding, and elite when she's committed. And it doesn't cost you a commitment card, which is potentially the biggest boon of that.
It's interesting that you say that. I don't often feel limited by my commitment cards.
Well.
Well, you're bad.
No, the new cycle with Echoes of the Force and people forcing you to commit things you don't really want to.
That is true.
And then Darkseid's just having a hard time winning the Force a lot these days, so having a 4th unit on the Force can be a big difference. Looks like
Do we see another yellowed up hand?
Fully yellow cards.
Man.
Maybe a B-Wing there.
Anton's just got to be questioning
life.
Questioning life right now.
B-Wing.
There's the B-Wing. He's running the
So he's running the B-Wing ejection.
Got to that turn okay.
It could have been a lot better, though. I mean.
Well, yeah. And now we're swinging.
This is where that
Sweep on the
lightsaber
top.
on that Acolytes or Apprentice or whatever it's called is going to be important.
It's
2
very,
damage.
very good. Very important.
Oh, I see a heat too. Brutality.
Who's got the heat? Chris got the heat?
Darkseid. Darkseid's got the heat.
Chris the kind of guy who'd have a heat.
I mean, with Protect, he's pretty much going to be able to kill that Sleuth post-attack either way. It's just a matter if he wants to try to stop. Edge, target, boom, blows up. I'm surprised he didn't target with the B-Wing and try to go Vader into blocking. But no. Here we go.
Spin me a tale about Chris's, his path to victory here. He's lost the first game. There has been 3 objectives destroyed by Anton, 2 objectives destroyed by Chris. So
now it's 4-2.
If he gets the dial to 12, he will need to have destroyed
at
point least 3 objectives.
Well, at this point, at least 2 for a tie.
2 objectives for a tie.
3 for a win.
That's right. 2 objectives for a tie.
And because of the dial, and because he has balance, basically next turn, for him to outright win the game or the match, he has to blow up all 3 objectives this turn. Dial's going to go to 7.
Mm-hmm.
If the dial gets any higher, to like a 9, it's almost impossible to basically blow up 3 objectives at 9 because it goes to 10 and then 12. So it's really interesting at this point. He has a rage, so Vader can already blow up by himself a defense you have him for. But I see there's another holocron. The juice. So we'll see. Rage makes things happen. Rage plus Palpatine is what really makes things happen, by the way.
Rage make things happen is the quote of the day. I think that's the way to do it. Building a really solid board. Hey, look, an ISB liaison.
Sacrificing to draw.
Ah.
He's going to look at the top card of his opponent's deck and draw a card. I'm curious. What is that?
Yeah, I really need to look at the top of your deck if you're drawing it, huh?
Yeah. I think I see one of the Thunder Flares cards in his hand.
I did see it. I thought that was Thunder Flare as well.
So that may be why he's running Imperial for Repair and Refurbish and the Thunder Flare.
That big of a deal, huh? I know people have talked about Thunder Flare a lot.
Yeah, he was really popular for a bit, and then he kind of just disappeared. He's still really good. The dark side, again, is just having trouble with the Force right now. So that objective set tends to get axed pretty quick. But it's still a really good objective set.
Yes, indeed.
Looks like we're leaving 4 open.
And so at this point, we are, I think we're talking to the judge about the tie and how that all works.
That's important.
True draw being discussed.
So yeah, he's confirming it's a true draw if you each destroy the same amount of objectives. So it looks like he passed back to the light side here. He's going to need to destroy 2 objectives next turn and keep balance so he'll win and make it a true draw. So it looks like for Chris to make it out of this, we're going to be going to a game 3. Or Anton, if he can blow up an objective here, can seal the deal.
Anton's objective blowing up capacity feels a little limited to me right now.
Well, this deck really just got abusively slowed down from the lack of smuggler resources. He just hasn't been able to get enough units out to do much of anything. Look like Echo Caverns.
That's going to help.
It's a great card, FYI. We'll learn a lot about Anton here if he uses that on offense or defense. I'm the kind of guy that swing in with Vader, Rage could win you the game, and I'll just pay 1 and give someone else that objective damage that you thought was going to win the game for you. But who am I?
Yeah, we will learn a lot about Anton, which is really what I'm most interested in.
Now, that Echo Caverns would have been really good on like turn 1 because it's an extra smuggler resource.
That would have just been awesome. Thank you.
So it looks like he's going to use it on deployment here, which is a fine move. That's kind of what you have to do if you want to move forward, but it's just a really weird spot to be in. See, it's the same scenario, right? He's got that
swindled.
Got the swindled and the protector in hand, but is going to be able to get neither of them in play just from a sheer lack of smuggler resources.
It's just a bummer. It's not what you want to see.
It's a bummer, man.
It's a bummer.
And I will say this deck has the capacity to just be on fire. Like, win with it out 3 on fire. So you do occasionally, I'd say 1 in 8 games, have a game like this where resources are bad, cards are bad, and you just can't do much of anything against the Sith control deck.
This is when you want it, you know? It's just right at the finals. It's the best time for your deck just to stall.
Definitely what I was thinking.
Yes.
Yeah. It lets you prove the kind of player you really are.
You make it out of this, then you've got some serious talent.
I think we're still confirming tiebreakers here.
Yeah. Well, it's a tricky situation, you know? Definitely changes the way things are played. And it really does make this attacking phase kind of interesting, because Chris just seals this game up pretty easily. Wouldn't you like to see a rebel objective flip off that smuggler destruction?
That'd be brutal. It happened. That's why I switched to smuggler, man.
I'd be crying a little bit.
That's when he plays a home 1. What?
Ah! What do we think about this?
I think Darkseid's going to win this game. I mean, he's got Rage in hand. Vader can easily blow up any objective you want. At that point, it's just a matter, he needs 1 more objective damage on the board to be able to blow up that second objective and win the game. Which
Seems
I think
very likely.
Yeah, and he's got 6 resources. He's going to want to spend 2 on Rage. We've seen no Mara Jade, who would be a great card to draw into. I think he still may have a Holocron in hand. The Thunderflare wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't think you can afford it. Yeah, Holocron's still in hand, so he's got a lot of outs here, honestly. A second Rage.
Yeah, and so Anton holding back here, trying to prevent what we're talking about from happening.
Yeah,
basically.
well, and I think he just clenched it. He just Force Choke, which is fine, but he's got Palpatine with Holocron, so he can pay 3 for Palpatine, and
that should get it done.
Start the madness, yeah.
So we know that Chris has got this locked up.
He still has to do it right. Sacking, I hope he goes, 3 for Palpatine. And I would almost like to see a Vader, Palpatine, and the Protector. That way you know you can, if he blocks both, you can kill. If he doesn't, then you can just tactics his board down. And then you kind of seal the game.
And that is the intent, right?
You like sealing games, yeah.
Seal the game, win, move on. And kind of too many good options here.
He's got the options. Force Choke 2 if you really need the extra damage to make it unopposed, but we'll see what happens. If he had even 1 more resource, this would be a lot easier, because every time an objective blows up, he can go get that Rage back. So he can play it once. 1 more resource would allow twice, which is usually just game.
Yeah. Double Rage, as they say.
Yeah, I can't tell you the number of
Sink
games
ships.
that literally end in Palpatine, Rage, unopposed, blows it up, gets it back. Unfocus Palpatine, tackle Palpatine, something else, blow it up, get it back, and you can do it again. It's just like...
You're saying Palpatine can cycle Rage?
Yeah, all day long.
Seems pretty thematic.
It is. He's rageful.
He's an angry dude, right? That's well established?
I think that's kind of part of the dark side, right?
Yeah.
Fear, anger.
His face says it all.
It also says creepy old man. It's really his teeth. That's where the anger is.
That's where I keep mine.
Right in the teeth.
Right in the teeth. All right, Chris, how are we doing this?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the scenarios that you can easily screw up.
Yeah, you know it's there, and you just, you don't want to...
Yeah, and because of the way the dial works, right, if you don't win here, you may still win on the next turn, but you wouldn't win with enough objectives. So, don't mess up, is the point.
And remember, guys, this is a game courtesy of the fully operational LCG YouTube channel. We appreciate those guys over there. Force choking his own Palpatine.
Curious where he's going with that. I don't know if you need to do that before a surprise or before the edge battle happens. I don't know if... Does Anton have cards in hand? Is he free balling?
He looks to be a bit free balling over there. I'm not I'm not certain.
If he's free balling, this math is easy.
How many times we've said that?
Yeah. It's also different when you're in the zone after a long tournament versus sitting here watching.
Absolutely. I really am enjoying Anton's pocket there on the jacket. It's a nice looking pocket, isn't it?
The pouch?
The little pouch there.
The old frontal pouch?
All right, here we go. We got the Prentice and Palpatine coming in together. Well, if that just doesn't tell a story, I don't know what does.
All right, what's he swinging on?
Learn from me, my son.
Interesting. It's going to blow it up. And light side probably doesn't think dark side has a way here. But Rage says otherwise. Rage for days.
Rage, man. What a card. So that's going to seal it, huh?
Yeah. He totally forgot about Rage.
And he's got Rage. There it is. So that looks like a tie. Is that a tie?
I am under the impression that this is a true tie and we'll be going to a game 3.
This is a true tie. Oh, baby. We'll get to see more from Anton and Chris coming up in game 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch us there. Continue the action. Remember, fully operational LCG is the YouTube channel. Frozen and Carbonate is the podcast. We're Team Covenant, Steven, Zach. And this is from Dark Sphere in London, United Kingdom. We will catch you at the next game. Stay tuned.